Hello, this is Azrael. Today we're going to be talking about some tips and pointers about the runes and some of the mythology behind it. Now, Odin hung himself off of Yggdrasil, the world tree, to get the knowledge of the runes. So let's thank Odin, everybody. Thank you. It's okay. Yay. All right, anyway, what we can gather from this mythology is that knowledge, because Odin shared the knowledge of the runes freely, knowledge is free. New knowledge, however, usually comes at a price. Hence, he had to hang on the tree for several days. Anyway, you could buy your runes or you could make them. Now, if you make them traditionally, now it's easy to think that, the runes are going to be put on stone. Actually, traditionally, they were put on wood, usually a fruit-bearing tree. If you don't use that, you could probably use birch, yew, or oak, because these were highly favored by the Norse gods. Now, I suggest a apple tree. So you cut the branch into several slices, one for each rune, of course. You will prick your finger with a blood testing kit like diabetics have, and you will take a couple of drops. You'll put it in red paint, and then you will paint the runes with that paint. Now, if you buy your runes, that's fine. That's okay too. Um, the problem is if you buy runes on stone, unless they're like artificial stone, they're going to be irregular. Now, I use amethyst stone, and of course, they're irregular. So when I use those, I don't cast runes like you would on a cloth and read it. With these runes, I have a specific spread or spreads that I use where each position on the runes has a specific meaning. The reason why that would be is because they're uneven. When you throw these kind of runes, they always, kind of like jacks, want to land in a specific point up, which could probably interfere with the rune reading. So I use a designated spread instead of casting them on a cloth. Now, for starting out, you might want to use a very simple spread. I usually use a 3 rune spread where the first position is the objective or subject. The second one is the opposition, what goes against uh, the rune in the in the first setting, and then the third one is the final outcome. Uh, Now, as far as the runes go, once you commit the basic meanings and definition of the runes, you can expand. So you gotta, they're like tarot cards, right? Some people they read tarot cards with the traditional meaning, and some people read tarot cards with intuition. The best way to read tarot cards is a mixture of both. Okay, and that's the secret to reading the runes. The runes definitely have a specific meaning, but you can expand on those meanings. And you also, when you read, you have to understand that uh, if the question is, let's say, health, and you pick up urus, well, that could be health, right? But what if the question was, you know, emotional situations? Well, the it could be, the health of the emotions, not just the physical body, and it could mean about the mental state or the health of an object. If you're talking about what about the stability of the relationship, and you get urus reversed, well, then it's saying that the health of the relationship, even though is bad, even though the meaning usually means physical health, you can expand, use some based. You get the meaning based on the question and where it's been placed too. And then, of course, the surrounding runes, especially if you cast them on a cloth. Now, when you cast them on a cloth, there are some people that believe every rune should be read, and then there are people who believe that when the rune falls face down, these are to be ignored because they cancel themselves out or something. I have a tendency to read the ones that are landing upright, and I like to have pull out a rune say if a person's asking again to say about love, and or also I'd probably pick up Laoguz, which does about emotions, and I'll place that one in the center. Then I'll cast the runes on, and depending on how close they land to the stone that is called the signifier, I pull the interpretation based on the runes closest to it, means it's more important. Then, of course, if it's upright or down, or down, if it's a rune that does not have a proper reverse, which means that it's the same shape, uh, it can get its negative meaning based on the ones that they are closest to if it is reversed. Um, Also, store-bought runes usually come nowadays with an extra rune called the weird rune, and it's weird because nobody uses it. Anybody who is serious about reading the runes don't use this specific one because it's new. It's a modern adaptation, so it I don't think it has any purpose of even being there. To tell you the truth, now I keep them because if I lose a rune, I have a spare blank rune that I could write the meaning or the missing rune. So use it as a spare, but don't use that in your reading. In case. Um, Now, also you can combine runes. There's called bind runes. Let's say you want a specific goal. Let's say a healthy relationship. Well, you could probably use uh, urus and then lagus, and you can connect them to make kind of like a sigil. And you can use this rune as a sigil, just like you would with chaos magic. In sigil magic, you can draw them on candles, you can activate them, you can meditate on them on your purpose, the whole 9 yards. One of the things about bind runes, for example, the Bluetooth symbol that everybody knows, has the little bee and then the other little antenna. That's actually a bind rune. Not many people know that. It's a mixture of two runes that stand for the name of a guy named Bluetooth, which is where we get the name Bluetooth. He was called that because he practiced an ancient form of uh, cosmetics, I guess, where he had little cracks in his teeth to where it would capture staining material, and he was claimed to have blue teeth because he stained it with blueberries or something like that. But in any case, he opened this guy opened up communications. I can't remember the name. I'm sorry. If I could do the research again and bring up the name, but again, I'm not using a script, and then right now the name is gone. But anyways, he opened up communications among tribes, which is what Bluetooth technology does, opens up communications. So anyways, but yeah, anyway, it's a bind rune. It's not many people know that. But in any case, bind runes are good, especially for magic purposes. So right now I can't think of anything off the top of my head. If I can, I'll probably make another video. If you have any other questions, let me know in the comments, and I will try to reply there or make a video if it's uh, a question that's worthy of 5 minutes of rambling or something. So thank you for watching, like and subscribe, and until then, take care.